can I claim Roxy? I didn't hear any feedback on that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's stopping you.
Should be live.
Fucking sick.
I'm stopping you. I'm stopping you, Crab. Not allowed.
Wow. I can't believe.
Yeah. See, I'm stopping you from being Roxy because you gotta be Roxy
we're
better.
live.
You
We're
gotta be
live.
like shoot. You gotta be. Shoot.
We're live. Hello everyone. Joy, would you like to do the little introduction for this?
That's a very good point.
Who's gonna do the formal introduction for all this?
Yes. Let's do a formal introduction. Hi, I am Joyful Dreams. I run Actomega and make all of it. And today we're going to be doing a live reading of the update that just got posted. It's a little long, and so let's introduce everybody else who is a part of this panel today.
Go
Through the horn. Go down the horn.
Going alphabetical.
run off.
Ooh.
Joe goes.
Hi there. My name is CL Capitan Lazar, also known as Joe, and I am here today because I will be playing the brain ghost of Dirk, I believe. I also do Dave for the actomega SleepySouls stuff.
Sick. Hi. I'm Crab. I'm here today because mostly I do a lot of Homestuck stuff with SleepySouls. I usually voice Vriska and or Carcat. Today I'm gonna be reading for Roxy. Why not switch things up?
Hi, I'm Cyber. I run SleepySouls. I organize all the stuff and I edit for Actomega. Yay. Oh, the video series, Let's Read, not the comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic. Great clarification. Oh, I think I'm next since Julie already went. Hi, my name is Sam. Some people confuse me with Friska. I am the event coordinator and I'm a writer for the Actomega comic.
And you will save my life every day.
I
great,
am. I am Carkle Spray or Elena. I am the Jake for Let's Read Actomega.
Hey.
And the other person here is currently deafened and muted, so they can deal.
That's Garbage Gothic. They helped edit the latest episode because I needed a lot of help for it. It was nightmarish.
I'm very sorry.
It's fine. I should have planned stuff out more ahead of time. I've just been really busy with school mostly. All right. Who's gonna be doing?
Quick preface for
Yeah.
the update in that one, it came kind of down to the wire for posting, but that's neither here nor there. But the other thing is that I've actually been working on this update probably for the better part of the last 3 years, on and off. It's been in the works. So it's taken me a long time to write and do, like, basically become satisfied with this update, but I hope that it is worth the wait, and I'm very excited for it because it's got some of the, like, stuff in it that I've been most wanting to get to in the comic. So, here we go.
Did we ever post the link in the SAHCON server?
They should. I gave them the link in a form, so they should have it and announce it along with, all the other panels that are at our time.
I can double check.
It hasn't been announced in any sort of announcements page.
Yeah.
So.
That is upsetting.
Drop it in the SleepySouls server for now.
I'm gonna drop it in the panel room to chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in the panelist suite. Hopes that
Yeah,
they'll
there we go. That should work.
notify people. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boyo.
The live will probably also act as
Don't. Yeah, you'd get alcohol poisoning. That would- Oh boy! I planned things out properly. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be... Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably zoom out in order for this to look good on stream. Okay, okay, wait, let me... The sound? I can... We can only hear Cyber. Do I have, Man. It's marked as default. Okay. Oh no. Oh boy. Great. Oh, did it only break right now? Oh no. So yeah, the audio only just now broke apparently. Yeah, we're gonna have to what the problem is here. Okay. I am so sorry. Yeah, we're gonna try to fix whatever the issue is. I honestly don't know what could be causing it. I already tried fiddling around with the audio inputs. I don't know. Frankly, if yeah, what it could be. I mean, I could try leaving and rejoining, or just resetting stream stuff. I don't think that would do it. Yeah, we the plan was to do a live raid of the new update. That's the plan, but go into other tabs that everything lagging out. Else should be front of page. I'm just glancing over at the chat right now. Also, hi. Okay, wait. Try again.
Hello.
There we go. Sorry. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, I fixed it. I guess I misclicked and accidentally muted OBS. Oh my god. Thank you for the people in the chat who caught on to that and told us when it happened.
So much.
Huge
We
thanks.
appreciate you sticking with us.
Remember,
We're just mumbling
gods
about a
love
bunch
you.
of stuff.
Oh boy.
The
Okay.
stream gods favor.
Okay, do we want to do take 2 of intros then, since
No,
nobody
intros-
I
else-
intros
think
went
they
through.
heard. Yeah, they heard.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, intros
Heard
should have been
intros.
heard. Yeah.
I went through, intros did work, so.
Okay, cool. So, are we ready now? Hopefully.
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 Yes, sir.
Joe, would you also want to do narration, if possible?
Sure, I can do narration.
That's one narration bit, so.
There's something very
Okay.
Homestuck too about Dirk doing narration.
Oh.
We don't talk about that.
Something very epilogued.
Congratulations! You've unlocked the interactive attainment ×2 combo reading experience. This will functionally double the amount of content you can see on screen. If your device happens to have a tiny screen, it's recommended that you rotate the display for maximum horizontal width. If your device has that functionality anyway. If not, you could try zooming in or something. Anyways, engage enhanced reading mode.
Oh, this is... Okay, I'm gonna have to reset my... let me zoom out. Oh my. That is a lot happening all at once.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I kind of love it. This is really lovely.
It's really
There you
cool.
go.
I love the curtain stretching across both of them.
It's pretty great, yeah. Alright, let's go to the... Oh, God. Okay, so I'm assuming we'll do the Roxy Callie dialogue. Who's gonna be Callie?
God, we didn't decide that, did we?
Yeah, we didn't
No, I
decide.
didn't.
Sam, Joy, one of you guys want to do Callie?
Do Joy.
Oh God, I'm not a voice actor. Oh.
Joy, do it. I believe in you.
There's time for everything.
Yeah, it's
mean,
probably
this
a
is
better
the third
idea if you do it
year.
because I don't have my mic.
Will somebody tap me out if I get embarrassed?
Sure.
Nope. I'll tap you out if you get embarrassed. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Well, honestly, we'll figure it out. Hey, it's been 3 years. You do this with us every year. It's time to try something new. I believe in you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me navigate
guarantee
to the
you
proper
everyone will be
page.
supportive.
Alright, so that I can read. Okay, here we go.
I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Are you ready?
No, but I guess I'm doing this anyway.
I believe in you. Okay. Damn, it's really spreading, huh?
Why? This is the closest I've come to any of these larger fissures thus far. As you can see, they're fairly intimidating. But as with many things, their presence is rendered far more tolerable by the pleasure of good company.
Duh. Guess so.
Hello, Deck.
Next page.
Hello? Do I know you?
In what way?
Huh. Obviously, I've seen the Firefly before, but you are not that. You're something else. And you can see me for some reason. That's weird. I'm going to guess because Jake made you like he did me.
Does it matter?
Certainly feels like it should. But then again, maybe not. I've given up trying to fully understand the nebulous properties of my realness quotient at this point. It's just Hopi-Hardy bullshit, which basically means it's all gut feeling. I feel, therefore I am. But only mostly, and mostly sometimes. Anyway, shouldn't you be with Calliope? Jake made you for her specifically.
He is preoccupied.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Well, now that you have my attention, I hope you don't mind indulging my curiosity a bit. How are you going to help her exactly? Beyond providing moral support?
I will guide her.
Guide her where?
You will see.
Will I? What? You want me to come along? I don't know about that. Not that it's a bad idea, I'd like to help keep an eye on her, but I get the feeling that I should prioritize the two guys actively willing me into existence. I also get the feeling that there's something off about you. It's difficult to put my finger on. You're more than you seem to be, that's obvious. More powerful. For such a small bug, you've got a mighty presence. Heavy enough to influence things or people around you, like some sort of gravitational pull. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan.
That's so different from your own attempts to influence events.
Excuse me? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
You entered the stream to exert control over the situation.
What the fuck? I was trying to be polite, but I guess we're dropping that now. It's called helping someone feel better when they're in trouble. Whatever you're implying, you can shove it up your thorax.
I'm implying our intentions are similar.
No, they aren't. You're just twisting my words. This is classic deflection. I accuse you of something, you fling the accusation right back at me to get me on the defensive. But you're just making yourself look even more shady.
You're overreacting.
I think I'm officially done with this conversation. This place is clearly about to be imminently unestablished. Dirk and Jake probably need me. As much as I'd like to stick around and make sure you don't fuck with the girls, I'm not quite real enough at the moment to do much about it. So...
Huh. We ought to move soon. It's too dangerous here.
I know. Sorry, just one more minute? Or maybe 5? Well, like, minutes are even a thing here, never mind.
No, you have a point. The more we move, the quicker events are likely to progress. So staying as we are for a bit longer can't hurt, I suppose. I certainly don't want to give the impression that I'm trying to hasten your inevitable departure.
Inevitable, huh? I guess.
Are you worried? I'm sure Jake will come through any moment now.
Yeah, he will. Robs.
Roxy?
I'll find you again, okay? It'll be harder if you're in one of your hidey holes, but I'll do it.
I wouldn't worry about that. I can't see any reason I might need to make another.
And you'll be okay without it?
It's really not necessary anymore.
You'll wait for me?
Yes. Yes, of course I will. Truthfully, I don't know what else I could possibly do.
No kidding. And what if... never mind.
What if what?
Well, what if Jane doesn't fix me?
She will!
Or if she can't?
But I'm sure she can.
Okay, but what if, though?
In that case, I suppose you will remain here. With me.
I'm still here.
Yes?
Is this you? Are you actively trapping me here?
You have a part to play yet.
Great! I'm being held hostage by a fucking firefly. What do you want from me?
Nothing. The nature of my being has transcended the need for desire.
Wow, that isn't obnoxiously cryptic at all.
Food for your curiosity.
How considerate of you. I can feel the Stockholm Syndrome acting in already.
Your antagonism is misdirected. I'm not your enemy.
Fuck off.
I understand you want to leave. Your primary task here is finished. You want to be useful. Such is your nature.
My nature? Do you mean my status as an imaginary best friend slash Jiminy Cricket slash ghost, or just my personality?
Is there a meaningful distinction between the two?
I mean, yeah, I'd say there is, normally. But if you take my whole deal into account, I guess I can see how they're essentially the same. My personality has literally been constructed by how Jake thinks of Dirk. And maybe also a bit by how Dirk thinks of Jake, and of himself. Something like that. Either way, I end up wanting whatever it is they want, and acting how they think I would act. So my personality is just another symptom of being a Dirk-shaped superego. But I'm pretty sure I'm a special case.
Perhaps.
But perhaps not.
Perhaps.
I'm fighting the incredible urge to squash you right now.
You couldn't even if you tried.
Wow, that sure was a vaguely threatening thing you just said, despite swearing up and down how congenial you are. Enough with the cryptic, spooky bullshit. Who the hell are you? What the hell are you?
Which would you like to hear first?
Jesus Christ. We just covered this, you pedantic, glorified flashlight. Aren't they basically the same thing?
You're the heart player. You tell me.
Huh. Wait. God damn it. More underhanded tactics, huh? I'm onto you. You're trying to swindle me into enabling your steady climb onto your soapbox by engaging me in an existential, Socratic dialogue. That's basically coercion. Well, guess you got me. Well played. I've never actually gotten to do this kind of thing with someone that isn't a version of me. This will be refreshing.
Sorry, my page was skipping out. You know, staying here doesn't sound so bad. It's surprisingly refreshing. And scary as it is, you gotta admit, it's pretty, right? In fact, maybe it's pretty because it's scary? And actually, maybe I think you're even scarier and prettier. I don't know what it means that I've been thinking that, and also saying it, I guess. Maybe I don't want to understand it yet, and maybe I don't want Jane to revive me either.
What? See, what do you mean?
I know how it sounds. Jake got all confident about things out of nowhere after taking a huge grody dump on himself over a fake firefly. And even if the firefly is real now, I guess I know you're still sad too, for, like, obvious reasons. So maybe it's kind of not cool I'm laying all this stuff on you?
Fine, I promise. I want to know what's on your mind, especially if this is the last opportunity I'll have to do so, at least for a while.
Okay, if you say so. Not like I could have kept it locked up much longer anyway, since you're so easy to talk to. I've tried to suck it up earlier, since who needs 3 dumb kids falling to pieces and blubbering about how everything sucks? 2 is fine, because misery loves company, but 3? That's just a fucking pity party. The worst kind of party there is. But now we're back to 2 again, so I'm in the clear, right? Lol.
I don't quite see this correlation between the number of people present and the propriety of speaking one's mind, but I suppose that might simply be my alien perspective. At any rate, please continue.
God, you're so fucking cute.
While I of course appreciate the sentiment, is this really the appropriate time for such stalling tactics?
Okay, you're right. I just... being here, dead, and having everything go to shit again, I felt like kind of an ass, because not too long ago I was doing all this contemplation on, like, how even bad experiences and bad timelines are important and all. Remember when I got all preachy at you about that?
Of course, though I would call it insightful rather than preachy. Have you changed your mind?
I don't know. The point is that good experiences aren't inherently more valid or whatever than bad ones just because they're nicer. Shitty things happening to you don't make you stop mattering. Like, me existing instead of some hypothetically happier version isn't some cosmic crime against Roxy kind. But also, what about the reverse, you know?
I'm not sure that I do.
Sometimes something bad happening to another Roxy so I could get out of a jam. And sure, sometimes bad things happening lead to better things later on, and that kind of makes it all worthwhile in the end. But from her perspective, she just fucking died, and that was it. Nothing good or worthwhile came out of that for her. Only for me. It's like I only get to think of bad things as mattering in the long run because I happen to be the one that's true for. And isn't that kind of selfish? What's so different between me and those other Roxys, huh?
To find the difference between who and what someone is, we have to define our terms a bit. The what is their physical nature, their biology, I guess. Are they a human, or a troll, or a dog, or a god? But knowing that still doesn't tell that much about their individual identity, the who. It only tells us how long they'll live, how many limbs they have, whether they've got literal superpowers, etc. But a person's genetics don't define who they are.
The circumstances of your birth don't define who you are. Do they not dictate who you could become?
Right, nature versus nurture and all that. Your genetics are a big factor, sure, but they can't be all that important. Take a cat, for instance. Their biology determines a lot of their instincts and behaviors, but each has their own particular likes and dislikes that gives them a unique personality just beyond just general cat shit. Basically, all cats can and must shit, but what kind of cat litter any individual felines will tolerate for shitting in is so variable and seemingly random as to give many cat owners gray hair. And let's not forget about humans. Human behavior is so complex that we invented philosophy to navel-gaze about it for eternity. Case in point, this entire conversation. But cats can't read or talk or become philosophers, usually. So I have to admit that your biology does technically put some broad limitations on what you can do and who you can become. That still leaves a hell of a lot of wriggle room. The point is that a human can become a philosopher. Whether or not they get around to it is up to them. That's a part of their identity.
Is your identity then solely defined by your actions? Do you become someone new with every choice you make? Does this person have a meaningfully different potential?
Well, that framing is some serious Ship of Theseus bullshit. Replace as much of its wood as you want, as many times as you want, so long as it's still a boat, and Theseus recognizes it as his boat, then it's a Ship of Theseus. Splitting hairs over whether or not it's the original or not is a question of purity, not identity. So, no. Most day-to-day decisions aren't going to meaningfully change who you are. Even some of the big ones, like choosing a career or choosing to kill someone, imply that you were already the sort of person who could make that choice in the first place. So, has anything about you really changed? Maybe nothing about you can ever... Damn it.
So there isn't much of a difference. But why would that matter? One's lot in life or death is hardly determined by what they intrinsically deserve. It's true this causes much unfairness, but that doesn't mean any of it is your fault. Merely coming to accept your own circumstances for what they are cannot possibly make you selfish.
But if shit's so unfair, shouldn't I do something about it? Instead of just going, shrug, that's the way the cookie crumbles, to make myself feel better?
That would surely be a worthy undertaking if it were possible, but what point is there to entertaining such a hypothetical right now? What can we realistically do in our current position? Roxy, what is this really about? What does it have to do with wanting to stay here?
I don't know, I just... Still kind of feels like I don't got the right to complain, considering everything.
Care! Why should some karmic sense of justice keep you from expressing your feelings? There's no one here to be offended by them. It's just you and me. You do trust I won't judge you, right?
Yeah, I know you won't. You never do. But you're sitting here going through the worst of the worst and being so brave, and I'm just scared. I'm scared I'm not gonna get the ring back. That I can't save you. And that even if we do fix everything, it'll all just fall apart again. I said all of that stupid, pretentious junk, in, hindsight. Because I thought it was over. Like, I get it. I learned the lesson. I don't want to do all this again. And what if I have to keep doing it, Callie? Over and over and over forever. There's no such thing as happy endings in real life. The life pile won't stop from getting taller and taller, and it's gonna have so much shit in it. And if I fuck this up, then the crap cherry on top of the turd sundae will be having to wade through it all without you. And if I just stay here, it'll be over. Yeah, I'd be dead. And yeah, there'd still be shit, but so long as you're here, it wouldn't be so bad.
See?
Sorry, the page took a moment to load.
Oh no, she's crying.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I've only found 2 U's.
That does make me feel better.
Well, I'm gonna cry. That's probably still a shitty thing to say though, right? Like, fuck. You being dead sucks. I shouldn't be saying it's fine if you stay dead, or if either of us stay dead. I should just fucking listen to Jake and try my hardest to fix it all again instead of wanting to give up like a stupid quitter.
You are not a quitter! The mere idea is completely preposterous. You're kind and beautiful and brave. But I understand how difficult it is to be brave all the time. But if it comes to it, of course, I would be overjoyed to have you with me, even under these horrible circumstances. It would be far better than I ever expected.
No, it's not like you should be expecting to be, like, alive and have a bajillion friends, and that we could be together and also alive instead of dead. That's what's supposed to be happening. We were all gonna finally go home, wherever home even is now. And you were so excited to write about it in your adorable scrapbooks. And instead of trying to actually make you feel better like Jake did, just being a fucking downer.
Of course, not all those things. But surely it's okay to feel sad when sad things are happening. Being upset isn't the same as giving up, is it?
No. No, it's not, I guess. Sure doesn't feel great, though. God, I want to drink. Fuck. Sorry, Callie. Ugh.
No need to apologize. Please don't censor yourself for my sake. I always want to hear whatever you have to say, no matter how dreary or potentially unpleasant. Any words you choose to give me are gifts I want to cherish as mementos of you. In fact, I feel almost greedy, like I'm squandering our final moments together, attempting to squeeze out as much of your essence as I can.
I sure am getting squeezed. All my me juices are just pouring out and making a mess. Am I talking about tears or something else? Wonk! Fuck, okay, that was weird, even by human standards, and you're an alien, so forget I said that.
Now, why would I ever do that? I only have so many memories of you, after all. I can hardly afford to lose even a single one. In fact, sometimes I wonder if I could ever have enough.
Call me crazy, but Callie, are you flirting with me?
Well, are you flirting with me?
Shit. Yeah? Yeah, I sure have been, huh?
Then perhaps I am too.
Oh. Wow.
Is that okay?
Well, duh. I've been flinging gratuitous flattery at your feet left and right, so if you do it back, fair's fair.
Is that how flirting works? Exchanging compliments?
I think it's got a little more to it than that, but fuck if I know how it's supposed to go. All my attempts have been basically unmitigated disasters, so I ain't gonna claim to be any kind of expert.
You hardly need to be an expert. This is just all quite foreign to me. I always assumed I was destined to be on the outside looking in. I thought I knew what role I was meant to play, and it wasn't one with the opportunity to make many choices. Somewhere along the way, I must have managed to convince myself that I had no real will of my own.
Let's face the facts, all right? Me, my friends, my family, none of us were born. We were created, essentially from nothing. Our DNA was handcrafted by Skya to produce players for its game. Players who were meant to be a certain way and do certain things. Every single decision we could ever make was by and large accounted for long before we ever popped into existence. The circumstances of our creation defined not only who and what we became in exacting detail, but also predetermined everything we'd ever do. And this includes multiple, separate versions of us, even versions that can be barely said to exist, like me. What and who we are is exactly the same, and we have no control over either. But that's depressing as shit, so I was trying not to think about it.
Is an identity meaningless if it isn't self-determined?
Fine. Maybe I'm being a bit melodramatic. Nobody can choose how they're born. I just wanted to believe that we get to choose who we are. And I'm not saying I don't still believe that, but obviously an identity has meaning regardless. That's the whole point of it. Whether we choose it or not, our identity is what distinguishes us as separate from others. Just like our humanity is what separates men from beasts, so to speak. Dogs aren't cats, humans aren't fireflies, and Dirk can never be anyone other than Dirk. Ever. No matter how much he wants to be.
This distresses you?
No shit. Dirk Strider. Destined to always be fucking insufferable. Forever. That doesn't bum you out? There I was, giving him this whole spiel about making mistakes and doing better. I look like a chump now.
You assume this is the full extent of his potential.
Yeah? There's evidence, too. Splinters and all that. Which includes me. I'm being such an obnoxious prick right now, indulging in this essentially frivolous conversation with a stranger while everyone that actually matters to me is neck deep in shit. No version of Dirk can ever resist the temptation to listen to himself talk. We only ever seem to turn out one way. It's clearly by design.
You will always be yourself, but your perspective is limited. Your lived experience can only encompass all that you have been. It cannot comprehend all that it could be. All that it is.
Yeah. Growth and change are still possible, sure. I appreciate the attempt to drag me out of my nihilistic doom spiral, but it's not as if the sky's the limit. We can't just be anything. We have to be ourselves. Otherwise, nobody is anyone. End of story.
If that is your answer, what of the soul?
Right. Apparently I'm supposed to be the expert on that. Just because Dirk was effectively assigned an obsession with it from birth that he can never escape from, and I've got his gaudy magenta getup to prove it. But whatever, I'll go ahead and say the jury is still out on whether free will is a thing to preserve my ability to give a shit about this conversation at all. In this context, a what versus who distinction doesn't mean much. Both concepts simultaneously limit and define everything you are or could be as an individual, which isn't all that different from what I guess a person's soul would be. As in, whether it is that keeps you quintessentially you, no matter how much you grow or change, or experience, something innate, mostly intangible, and intuitively felt. There. How's that?
Mostly correct, but not quite sufficient for our purposes.
What are our purposes, exactly? Actually, don't answer that. Look, I've managed to follow you thus far. Maybe it's time to drop Socrates and get right down to brass tacks before we end up forced by the conventions of dialectical structure to meander around the point for eternity. I don't think we have that kind of time, even if time only exists here as a technicality. You clearly have your own idea of what a soul is, so what is it?
I know that I've always cared for you, of course. All of you. Your story was meaningful to me in ways I'm unsure how to even express. I whiled away innumerable hours piecing together who you all were and what you were like, what magnificent things you were meant to do and become. But I am a cherub. There are experiences and emotions I have always known would remain alien to me. It was a relief to preoccupy myself with something so different to the crushing monotony of my own existence, but despite my wistfulness, I understood it could only ever be a preoccupation. My nature is to observe these things from a distance.
You know what? funny thing is, I can kind of relate. Obviously, I'm not an alien or anything, but I sure ended up sort of feeling like one a lot of the time. And it was almost exactly like that.
Oh, I certainly don't mean to minimize your experiences, and it's... Oh god, I fucking left a blank in there.
I believe in you.
Kill me! Kill me! I left a blank! Okay, I'll fix that later. I certainly don't mean to minimize your experiences. I'll just delete that sentence. I believe there is still a bit of difference between feeling alienated and actually being an alien.
Ah, shit. Sorry. I didn't mean to presume.
It's okay. For a member of a social species such as yourself, solitude must have been excruciating. I only mean to say that, similar as our experiences may have been in many respects, I don't think it affected me in quite the same way. I hope you don't misunderstand. Meeting you all really has been like a dream. It's just that I've dreamt of stepping inside your story countless times before, and the feeling of being merely a spectator persists. Until recently, all of my friends have only ever existed on the page of a book, the other side of a screen, or within my own imagination. And I believe I may struggle to picture them in a capacity beyond that of those to be observed. That is, except for you, Roxy.
What? Me?
You are so much more than I could have ever imagined you to be, and my fondness for you far exceeds anything I could have ever thought possible for someone like me.
Oh my god.
I don't just want to know you, or understand you, or observe you. I want to experience you, Roxy. I want to hear your opinion on every topic imaginable, no matter how trivial. I want to see what you look like when you're happy, or sad, or angry. I want to explore every single facet of you there could possibly be to discover, from the beautiful to the ugly, the mundane to the extraordinary, the delightful to the terrifying. And though I don't feel as if I have much to offer you in return, I would gladly share with you every piece of myself I have to give, if doing so would bring you joy. I want so much, it's so overwhelming. It should be impossible for me to feel this way, but I can't think of what else it could be. Is this red romance? Is this how it feels to love someone?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm crying, it's fine.
And then they kiss.
Callie Roxy smooch.
This is really nice.
I would describe the soul as a deeply complex symbolic pattern. A patchwork of striking design that could become identifiable wherever it manifests. A collection of ideas which imprint themselves onto existence like a stamp might onto paper. Yet the texture of the canvas leaves its own mark on the imprint. And other circumstances leave scars, such as how much ink is used or pressure applied. The exchange leaves us both, the design and canvas, fundamentally altered. And so no single version of the image manifests perfectly, just as the world is forever changed by any individual entering it. But there still remains a single pure distillation of the concept, always contextualized by the reality around it.
So, you mean like how I'm a splinter of Dirk? All his splinters are just sort of imperfect variations of the original dude, each unique because of the context in which they come to exist? Wait. God damn it. It sounds like Plato. Just when I thought we were done with that jackass.
Who is Plato?
He was an ancient Greek philosopher. So was Socrates. By the way, the guy Socratic dialogues are named after, Plato still wrote them, actually. But I'm getting off track. Basically, all these different guys were a bunch of assholes who lived a long-ass time ago, and they said a lot of shit people thought was smart. Plato is currently the most relevant asshole of the bunch to our discussion. He talked about Platonic ideals, named after himself, of course, which are essentially imaginary blueprints for anything that could exist in reality, which isn't too different from your stamp analogy.
This sounds accurate.
Plato uses a different analogy, called the allegory of the cave. Allow me to heavily simplify it for you. There are a few poor saps chained up in a dark cave, and all they can see is the wall. They've been there all their lives. The mouth of the cave behind them is their sole source of light. The only way they can see anything besides the blank wall is when something passes in front of the light and casts a shadow. If a horse were to stand in the mouth of the cave, as far as the chained up dudes are concerned, its shadow is the horse. They've never actually seen a horse, only its two-dimensional outline. They can't possibly understand what a real horse looks like. In this analogy, the wall is reality, and the horse is the Platonic idea. Is also God or whatever, but not important. In your analogy, the Platonic idea is a stamp, and reality is a canvas. Both imply that things that exist are essentially imperfect versions of the true form of that object, which, as far as we mere mortals are concerned, can only ever exist as an idea. And what you're saying is that a person's soul is basically the Platonic idea of that person?
Yes. Especially if this Platonic idea could be more accurately described as an abstraction. If all of reality were composed of ideas and thoughts rather than matter and energy, which it is as far as we're concerned, then that which constructs reality would be abstractions rather than particles. In this case, what might an atom be?
An idea, I guess, like you said. But ideas can be literally anything. Atoms come in a finite number of clearly distinct varieties. You know, the elements. There's not really such a thing as a periodic table of concepts.
Are you sure?
What would something like that even look like? The categories would all have to be inherently obtuse and frustratingly non-specific, like fucking horoscopes, but for thoughts instead of people. Hang on. You've got to be fucking kidding me. It's the 12 aspects, isn't it?
Yes.
So, let me get this straight. The aspects are the building blocks of reality, the most platonic and abstract an idea can get. Utterly irreducible. And a person's soul is also an abstraction? Or rather, an abstraction composed of a unique combination of even more inherently abstract concepts?
You're beginning to understand, but we're out of time.
God damn it! Just as I was starting to actually like you. What now?
Something is about to happen.
Oh, great! Awesome! Just leave me here with blue balls after bringing me right to the edge of this mind-blowing revelation. God, did I really just say that? I'm so glad no one else can hear this conversation.
Was that okay?
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Oh, color error. That's the Roxy line. That's color calliope color.
Oh, okay. Wow. ×3 combo.
Are those good wows?
Sure. I just need a sec to process, since I was totes the first time anybody's ever voluntarily locked lips with me. And that person is a girl. And also an alien. So, there are wows of much internal roximities, okay?
I believe the word is romzieties.
Romzieties? I'm sorry, I can't read.
It's not a real word. Don't feel bad.
I like it a lot.
It's a Roxy
It's
word. I
very
love it. I'm gonna use that now. I'm adding that to my
Romzieties.
vernacular.
Very sexy.
Okay. But that is precisely the problem! I don't have lips. Surely the experience must have been subpar given that I lack the proper anatomy.
Callie, please, have mercy. I'm gonna laugh my guts out like a weirdo, and then all my me juice is gonna be splattered all over the cracked dream non-floor. Is that what you want? Or is that the kind of weird alien shit you're down for? Like, is swimming in an entirely metaphorical, regurgitated person fluid the peak of cherub romance?
Peak of cherub romance would typically be engaging in ferocious combat for centuries. None of this is anything like what my species ordinarily engages in. We've entered in completely uncharted waters.
But we don't exactly have the time to splash around in them right now. Huh.
Unfortunately.
Well, maybe that's okay. I do have time to squeeze all the cuteness out of you for keepsies. Maybe I'll give it back next time I see you. Because there's gonna be a next time, right?
Right.
Not like staying here was ever a real option anyway, because it's way out of my hands at this point. So, I just gotta come back and find you. And I will. No matter what.
If there is anyone who could pluck me out of the void 100 or even 1,000 times, it would be you. I have no doubt. And I will do my best to guide you.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be okay. We'll make it be okay.
What's with Roxy and her talking about her me juice?
Yeah,
That's the
but
second
I
time she
mean,
brought it
she's-
up.
It's a Freudian thing. Like,
she's
Dave must have got it from somewhere.
Strutland, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
and then she went all-
Pylons,
yeah.
Freudians.
It was so funny because immediately after that she started going all like Dave ramble.
That is a very Dave thing to do, which makes sense because
Roxy
those two
does
kind of
that
parallel
too.
each other.
I know,
Yeah.
but Dave did it first.
I
Or Roxy did it? Dave?
Where do you think Dave came from?
I
Chicken before the egg. Let's not get into slime here.
We're talking about
I
this while
mean-
also, Dirk is literally just rambling about philosophy. The firefly.
it's pretty great.
Rambling is a Strylond trait.
Yeah. I love. Oh, God. Okay. There's slightly more dialogue here.
You will want to direct your attention to your friends.
They're kind of having a private moment. Seems inappropriately voyeuristic to just watch.
Do as you wish, but as events unfold, you must follow.
Aw.
Oh! No! Even Dirk looks sad. Look at him. He looks sad.
I am so hurt by this.
I'm so hurt. No! This is not okay.
Oh.
Poor
Oh,
Charlie.
and the firefly goes between the panels. That's neat.
There is no time for tears, Calliope. You must take action.
Oh. Oh, is that the last panel?
That's a good looking one, too, huh?
It's very
Yeah.
nice.
It's cool that it splits between it, but also is all one panel.
It's like
I worked very hard. There were
Oh.
there are errors I
It's
have to go
really-
fix.
Oh, by the way, if it helps
No,
you,
no, it's so lovely.
It's amazing. If it helps you, I wrote down all the times you messed up Calliope's U's in the SAHCON.
Okay, I will go fix those as well as the coloring error. I already deleted the sentence with the blank because that was the most embarrassing shit I've ever posted.
Yeah, I labeled them all by page number, so you should be fine.
Okay. So, any more thoughts? Feelings? I'm milking this because I worked really hard.
you did a lovely job. I have a thought because this is I've noticed this, right? I feel like the way that you write Homestuck stuff, specifically for Actomega, like there'll be like ships or like character dynamics that like I just personally don't get. I'm like, I don't get the appeal of this. And then I see like you flesh them out and I'm like, I get this now. This makes sense to me. I like this. And I feel like
I don't think it's nonsense shipping.
It's really not, and like
Yeah.
Roxy is such a comfort character for me, especially, and I really, really feel like you nailed them.
Like-
Yay, God.
I
You
need
did
to
very
know.
good.
I need to know more about how Dave is in Actomega. I need to read through Actomega.
Well, you can watch the premiere of the new episode, which focuses on Dave, and he does some stuff in that.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
certainly do
Dave and
some
Carcat.
things.
There's
Dave
some.
and Carcat do things.
I'm sure they
Dave
those
do.
are-
can do
for those of you-
things?
But
For
wait,
those of
hold
you
on.
who remember, this was
Gosh.
read aloud last year.
That was
Yes,
whole
yes,
year
I do
ago.
remember that. Hey,
We
wait,
had
but do they
Carcats
do,
and Dave's galore.
but do they do epilogue things?
Oh no.
No, because
No.
fuck the epilogue. Fuck the epilogue. I'm sorry, I know this is stuck at HomeCon, but you know...
Is that a
fun-
controversial-
Homestuck continuation.
Yeah,
The epilogues.
it
all
is
my
to
heart
me.
for
I
the
remember-
epilogues.
I specifically remember reading the epilogue, like the announcement of the epilogues, the very first pages of the prologue, when I was at a 413 meetup, and we all just took time aside, sat down, and just read it.
Those were
I
Cyber and I
remember
read through it
when the
they
epilogue came
first
out.
dropped.
same. I was at a
But
con.
on 420, I remember I was in the grocery store trying to read the epilogues as they first dropped, and I got to like parts with like Gamzee in it, and just like I remember being in the grocery store when I first went, wait, actually, fuck this.
Well, I remember Crab. You were the person that I read it through with on the first
Yeah.
read through. It was.
We
Yeah.
had a very emotional time with it. We spent hours. I just remember being in my old apartment, sitting at my kitchen table. I can speak, and crying as I'm reading the eulogy that Roxy has to give at Dirk's funeral in the candy route. I just sat there
Yeah.
crying at my kitchen table, and I was like, I hate this. Why are you
No.
doing this to me?
So it's so funny
Yeah.
because to this day I still have not read Candy.
That's
And-
fair.
Well, you know, Carkles. Both
I
me
read
and
meat.
Crab are in a
Sparkles, you've read
epilogues
bits of candy
dub.
with me.
I've read bits of Candy. I've not read through Candy.
Well, if
Yeah,
Just not
ooh,
prepared
good,
for
good plug
candy.
there. Good plug there.
well,
We
if
are
So-
in a
Yes.
epilogues read through theater thing. So
Yeah,
Yes.
it's from a
So
channel
what's-
called The Soup Kitchen.
What's
Very
the?
good.
Do we have an ETA on when the episode is gonna come up, or?
it says that it's like done processing, so it should be able to
Eventually.
go up now.
Yeah, what are you talking about? The episode's been uploaded this entire time.
Yeah, we
I
had
don't know.
Yeah.
plenty of planning.
we were simply distracting you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Crazy.
We
So,
simply
do
wanted
we
to
want
raise the
to-
expectations.
Should we?
So do we want to switch over to that hypothetically, or keep just chilling and talking about Actomega stuff?
I'm vibing with the talking, honestly.
I mean, it's ready, but yeah, I personally would be down to like just talk a little bit more. Like, I'm down for
Right,
that.
yeah.
However, I must go because there's a talkback for another panel that I'm a part of. So-
Oh yeah. Shill the panel, Joe. Shill the panel. What's it
Yeah.
called? It's our friends in there.
Hey, it just finished up, but it is the Times Apprentice Homestuck musical based on the story of the ancestors, written by Anna, articulately composed. It's incredible. I played the time god in it, and you should all go watch it.
If you remember Porum from
I've been
episode
waiting.
2 of Let's Read Actomega, or if you've seen Persona 3 Machine Bridge, you know Mitsuru? That's Anna. Anna does really cool musical stuff. Go
Yes,
watch
yes,
it.
she absolutely does.
Yeah.
Also, Tex Homestuck the musical is in it as well.
Yes.
Homestuck the musical. Go watch it. And with that, I take my leave. Goodbye. I love you all.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Does Vidania.
Yeah.
But I have honestly completely forgotten. There was a time, probably a month ago, that I forgot people still liked Homestuck.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm the only one.
I
It's just
That's the thing, because with Actomega, like, and the epilogues, like, we can shit on them all we want, like, they have a feel to them that is essentially antithetical to everything that I write, which is like, I said it before, but I kind of like, Actomega is to me, like, Homestuck, but more, but also softer.
yeah.
Like, Homestuck just has like this sort of crunchy meanness to it that's kind of inherent.
It
Yeah,
is
like-
it is very Act 4.
Yeah. So it's like when I write, I do it with the direct intention of having it be like the feel of Homestuck, but like without as much of that meanness to it.
It feels like the meat of Homestuck.
It's really got that Homestuck flavor, but it's so much more palatable. I really applaud you for that.
Yeah, I also try to make it more easy to digest. Like, literally, like, that's part of what made this update so hard to write, because I wanted to go into, like, some deep, like, meta-philosophical bullshit, but I'm, like, also, like, the average reader is, like, 13, like, I have to make this, like, understandable for them, which is a thought I'm sure Hussey has literally never thought in his life, trying to make something
Not
more
once.
palatable. What? So, like,
Ever not one.
Okay, so is it bad? Okay, I'm looking at this panel, the very last panel of the thing, and I'm imagining it in like Homestuck book form, and two things come to mind. And as I think about that, step one is it would be really cool if it had like the scratchy like texture on it that changes how you the lighting whenever you look at it, so that it actually still has that color changing effect.
Like on physical paper.
Actomega the book! Actomega the
That
book!
would be sick.
Yeah, and the other part that makes me
I'd buy
laugh,
it.
the other thing about it that makes me laugh so hard is that Callie's face would be right on the seam, and it would be so funny. It would look so.
spread.
You should basically
Yeah,
hire
it'd be a
you
full-
to like pick
it'd
out
be
this
a full-
entire thing.
It'd be a full-page spread, and it would be so funny because Callie's face would be right in the middle, and you
Oh,
would not be
man.
able to see the Firefly, not with that split.
The people in the chat are describing Actomega as the chicken soup for the Homestuck. That's what it says.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
I agree.
We
think
have
that's-
meat, candy, and chicken soup.
Chicken soup.
Yes.
Well-
I do want to do chicken soup.
But like, okay, like the whole like meat and candy analogy, like that first came up as like one of the notes in one of Hussey's like books, and he's talking about like, oh yeah, you have like candy, which is like the interpersonal drama, like emotional character stuff. Then you have meat, which is like, I guess the more like gritty lore, video game mechanic-y type stuff. And like I feel like this update in and of itself kind of like demonstrates how to do that balance, and I like it because it's literally
Yeah, I
a
did pretty much
50-50
do
split.
both.
It's perfect.
Okay,
I love it.
I love that Hussey said that in one of the books, but the thing that's so much funnier to me about him talking in the books is that in the original release of, I think it was Act 2, it was either Act 2 or no, it was Act 2 because Act 2 is Dave. In the original book release for Act 2, no, it was Act 3. Sorry, I'm confused. In the original book release for Act 3, they had a footnote at the bottom, like Hussey has at the bottom of all the pages. When you see Jade's knots around her fingers so that she remembers stuff. And it just specifically sticks out to me because it's like the green one on her pinky is reminding her to watch Shrek 2 later. It's not it has absolutely no meaning, nothing at all. It's not like,
Sad they
oh,
never
this is
brought
some
that back.
yeah, like what happened
Yeah.
to, like that was like I understand it's like getting rid of it was her growing like part of her growing up, but like it's never mentioned again.
It was
We
so
lost
cute.
a lot of
like,
aspects of
genuinely.
her character.
They did
Yeah.
bring it up once
To
at the
guise of,
very
like, her
end.
growing up.
Okay, but like what if somewhere in Homestuck 2 a character uses it?
He
Like,
said the
that would
little
be
finger.
That'd be the day.
Yeah, like a Harley kid
It's-
just walks around with like things tied around her
We
fingers.
don't talk about Yiffy.
Damn, not Yiffy.
Yeah.
Speaking
It's
of
not Yiffy's fault she
commentary,
exists, but
Is it Yiffy or Yiffany?
No, I blame Yiffy. I do. I blame her for her own existence.
Is
Don't
it
worry,
Yiffy or
guys.
Yiffany?
Yiffany's her full name.
full-
Yiffy's what they call her.
Listen, guys, sometimes you just name your kid after furry sex. Check out my new Homestuck OC, Blowjobathan.
Oh,
Blow Jonathan.
First part was Jade knew exactly what she was doing because of like her furry background.
Don't drag Jade into
Don't
this.
talk about Jiffy.
We
We
don't-
just said we don't talk about him.
It's so much funnier because the first three, like her first introduction is just so much of I am not a furry. I'm not a furry.
I mean, I would argue that she's not a furry, but rather an otherkin. But that's just me.
Well,
Other
wait,
can
but
definitely
here's
damn
the
it.
question.
That's the correct
Hey,
label.
hey, but here's the question: is she the furry, or is the person she's dating a furry?
Stop.
I would. All right, if we're gonna
The person she's dating.
if we're having this talk, I have to say I think Dave is more of a furry than Jade is.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
He's definitely a closet furry. Is he even closet furry at this
He's
point?
not even closet.
He's-
He has
He has a persona. It's
He
named
says he
in
does it
comic.
ironically, but you know he's like kind of really into drawing his own
And then there's
OC and
just
like really
Dirk,
excited about it.
who's actively a furry and doesn't hide it. He just
Nepeta-
doesn't talk about it.
Nepeta does offhandedly mention like talking to Dave, so presumably the two of them have furry roleplayed with each other.
Talking, that's canon. She straight up says that like she has role played with him. One of the very few Nepeta pestilons we
Permus.
get.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
We should get
Permus.
more.
but
That's right.
but-
Yeah, Nepeta calls him by his persona name. He doesn't. She never calls him Dave.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
But also, it makes me think. Like we were talking about how they were talking about how heart players. It's like oh, you know Nepeta and Mulan. Actually, that was the people in the chat talking about how Nepeta and Mulan. It's like the heart players. It's like it's not the fact that they weren't like in-depth heart players. It's the fact that they didn't live long enough to be heart players.
Yeah.
Live long enough
Because
to be
there was a lot of
fucking
potential there.
characters.
Well, hey, Nepeta lived long enough to kind of be a character.
She's a character in my
Not
heart.
enough.
She lived just long enough for people to get attached to her, and then she was
Yeah.
brutally murdered.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hesse literally hated her.
She's green. That's all that matters to me. Okay, guys. That's all I need.
Speaking of Nepeta, I can't help but think a lot about like the fact that I did like you guys mentioned that I don't do bullshit shipping, but there was that one update where I literally just like that was the one update where I just did a whole bunch of bullshit shipping where it was just like we're just gonna throw in Fep in here for the fans. We're gonna have
I mean-
Cronus make out with Damara.
I mean,
Hey,
That was-
Fefnep
that was
is
a
just
fun update.
perfect.
Fefnep is
So-
adorable and deserves more love.
Yeah. To be fair,
mean, but
that was like
normally
a
I'd
thing
flush
that
them out
definitely
more.
existed.
No, but I think my favorite thing still in this comic to this day is Jasper's sprite.
I know.
Yes,
J-
I do
just
love
so-
Jess Bros.
Just someone as smart as Rose, but as stupid as Jasper at the same time.
The
And
point
it's
is that she's as pretentious and obnoxious as Rose is, but with zero filter whatsoever. She'll just,
chill.
like,
and that's see, me getting casted as Jasper Sprite was the best thing that could have happened. Apparently, I have the chaotic
Karki
energy
has
to
a
be a
point.
cat. Huh?
I think Karki has a point.
I do? Wait, what happened?
Yes. I'm
You get
agreeing with you about you getting casted.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I wasn't
thinking.
casted for this. That was Homestuck Bridge, which I don't even think is still in production.
I'm thinking now. I feel like Nepeta is almost like a little microcosm of Homestuck as a whole, where it's like Nepeta, like individually, isn't particularly like elaborated much on. There's still like so much there, but has so much like surface level appeal, and what little things we do know, people really latch on to. And if anything,
feel like
she's more so
Yeah.
elaborated on in fan content. And I feel like that's just Homestuck as a whole.
Have you
It's
guys
just-
seen Alternate Universe? I did some work on that in prior years,
I
and
think I-
that was a really fun thing to do because it fleshed out this character that had like just this like base appeal and really kind of giving her more depth.
I actually
Exploring what-
someone
I don't think this
someone
is,
from Alternate Universe was in a SleepySouls video, if you could believe that. If you remember,
Really,
we did a fan dub of Deltarune when like a week after the game came out, and the Birdly VA, he, if I'm not mistaken, they were I think they were like the project manager for Alternate Universe at that time. Yeah,
Really?
it was
I don't
pretty
think
wild.
I've heard of alternate universe.
I think it's just like
Basically, Nepeta goes batshit and murders a bunch of people. It's
yeah,
great.
it's like if Horror
That's
Stuck was
ridiculous. Why though?
Nepeta instead of Gamzee, I guess.
But, all that makes me think of is like if Hussey hated Nepeta so much, all it makes me think is that Hussey wrote Nepeta solely for the fact that he knew that that's exactly how the fans would be. That's the only reason Nepeta was written as she was, because she knew for a fact that the fans would obsess over her.
Well, not even that, actually. Like, if you read the notes on the Homestuck books, he's like, I don't know why anyone likes Nepeta.
Yeah.
I wrote her as basically a throwaway character that, you know, nobody would glance twice at.
I feel like he doesn't get the
appeal. People just
appeal.
latched onto her, and that's why I killed her. That's literally.
Well, okay,
his...
but to be fair, he decided in the year of our Lord 2010 that there should be a cat girl. I mean.
He was ahead of the curve, really.
He was ahead of the curve. He was making cat girls as soon as Tumblr was popular. In like Tumblr's early heyday. So that's what happens.
Father of cat girls.
As we near the end of the panel, since we're getting kind of close to the end of what our time technically is.
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to just bring up the fact that it's like we're going to be like go ahead and watch the episode of Let's Read Actomega episode 5, but there's also unlikely to be an episode 6.
Yeah. Should we talk about that? I guess.
I feel like it might be good to talk about a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, very burnt out on Homestuck. And this is a thing that's been felt by like some of my friends as well, who've been helping me with these projects. And it's like, I don't know, it's just you know, this is third year and it's been so fun doing these every year, hanging out with y'all, making these like big old videos, but like it's just really hard to like find the passion, and I don't really want to force myself to do something that I'm not 100% passionate about, you know. I'd rather just wait, you know, and maybe that passion will rekindle itself than, you know, not be passionate and half-ass it. So this might be the last episode. The big fat maybe.
It's based on if Cyber feels like this is worth editing again.
If I feel like putting myself through hell.
If need be.
Hey, I can learn how to edit. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I
got Vegas. I mean,
it's just like little things like this kind of remind me of like why I fell in love with this comic in the first place, and I really appreciate it.
I've never read it before, but like I helped with editing, and I was like, damn, this is actually kind of fun.
I'm just waiting. I was just hoping for another Jake line. Because, I mean, nothing's gonna top. How is anyone gonna take me seriously when I'm not wearing any fucking pants?
My favorite.
See, I was just thinking, like, I wanted to at least get episode 5 done, because I know that's, like, the big, like, Dave Cat thing that everyone loves in the comic. And I'm like, if you're gonna end it, at least should end it on a high note, you know?
But then you gotta go to the Dirk Jake part.
Oh.
Jake didn't get his screen time, obviously.
It's
Oh,
really
man.
Pretty sure
has
it's
to get more screen time.
We'll see next year.
Actomega itself.
We'll see next year.
I'm joking.
So-
Hey, so in the comments, I see that you're saying, I remember that line, I've replayed this line. If this is something that has not been really touched on, but that line was recorded over the course of an hour and a half.
Yeah, me and Karkles just kept like talking and rambling.
It took an hour and a half to get a good take of that line.
That original Actomega Let's Read video is very special to me. That dropped while I was at
Me
like a
too.
con, and it was like the Homestuck anniversary, and it was like it's like a big thing for me.
Yeah, I was getting to join in Actomega was really exciting because I think that was when I actually joined SleepySouls. I think. Yeah, because I was trying to get into SleepySouls, but I couldn't because I needed to get casted for something. But I eventually got casted for.
Yeah, and then you were Jake for our project.
Yeah, and now I'm Monokuma, so I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
It's really.
Yay.
It's just kind of crazy how like Homestuck was kind of such a big part of me like getting to meet people online and like making friends and getting into like voice acting as a hobby. It's just Homestuck has been very important and informative for me.
Oh, God.
So
How
it's,
did I do, by the way, as Callie?
it was adorable. I loved it.
You were amazing. I was very bad as the Morse
I
code
would tell you
Firefly.
otherwise.
I was very bad as the Morse code Firefly. Don't worry.
I think I had an advantage because I wrote all of those lines, and so I know
You
in
did.
general
you did.
what emotional inflection they meant to have.
They were
But like, but
lovely.
like,
You
I
did great.
know.
It evoked emotion.
Okay, so like I know that I'm praising you, Joy. You did great. But holy shit, Crab, you are my favorite Roxy of all time.
What?
Aw.
I literally was sitting here like, oh god, my Roxy is no good. I have not
Best
done
It was
Roxy
really cute.
ever.
You guys were on point.
Much like. And
Much like.
a fun tidbit is that in the 3 years that it took to write this update, like half of the Roxy Callie shit wasn't in there at the start, and I put it in specifically because over those 3 years, I went from thinking that I was a romantic to realizing that I have a crush on someone for the first
Yeah.
time in my life.
it.
It'd be like that.
And
Yeah.
so, and now I have a partner in the
Hmm.
romantic styles,
Oh,
and
Oh
I
my
just,
god.
and I put a lot of that first realizing what romantic attraction feels like emotions into Callie's dialogue,
Really sweet.
because it's
It
like,
shows.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
somebody who'd never experienced it before finally like getting it, and like the ways you describe it, like that was basically I had to extend this just because that was like a great way for me to get this stuff out creatively.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
literally cried.
Okay, but this update by itself took 3 years.
I mean, okay, it was sort of the thing, like I had it pre-planned, like because it's a really important update specifically because it's setting up a lot of like the groundwork for like meta stuff with the Dirk part, and so
Okay.
like it took a while to like refine what I had for that log down
So
into something palatable.
so it's more of a case of it took 3 years, but it's definitely not the only thing we focused on for the past 3 years.
Yeah, no, I also took a year-long break from Homestuck in 2020.
Yeah.
As
I
you
kind
should.
of don't blame you.
Yeah. Things were crazy.
2020 was kind of
Yeah.
a hell year. It's glad that I'm just glad that we're all here now.
But now I'm back, bitch!
Our time.
And I'm better than ever!
Yeah.
Our
Believe
time.
you.
Can't get rid of me!
To be fair,
I've been
I
here
went
for like 6 years!
from one problem fandom to another in 2020, so I went from Homestuck to My Hero.
Oh
I
man.
also
But
went
you're
from Homestuck to
In the My Hero fandom.
That's fair. It's a very
I'm
fun
currently
show.
writing like a novel-length fan fiction for My Hero Academia.
Oh
I
right,
just
your
tried.
fan fiction.
I'm very
Yeah,
curious.
We're just gonna have we're
Unfortunately,
gonna
I'm Homestuck or die.
If I've
We're
if
gonna
I've if I've learned anything
gonna
about
have
Actomega is that I like your fan fiction. So
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we're gonna have a live stream where we read through your My Hero fanfiction.
I totally
Not-
think that would be a great idea.
I've technically already gotten through like 5 chapters of it.
I'm not
I'm very
opposed.
proud of it, but I have dedicated myself to not posting any of it until I'm at least halfway through having written it. Which so that I don't have this thing like I have with Actomega, where, you post stuff and then, you don't touch it for months, and then you feel guilty, and then you take a break for a year. And nope, when I post this magnum opus fanfic, it's gonna be pretty much all at once.
That's gonna be
Just call it
great.
Andrew
You're gonna have it
syndrome.
you're gonna have it fully written, but you're going to only post it 1 chapter at a time over the course of a couple weeks each.
I mean,
Basically.
yeah, that sounds awesome, like a TV show.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then we have live readings whenever it's announced.
Speculation.
Oh
That
my god.
sounds so fun.
Imagine having like live readings as you post it, like doing a live stream. And
I would
like,
honestly
reading
be down to do some
You
live
guys do
readings
My
with
Hero
that.
Academia
That's
comics?
amazing.
Yeah, we've done a
Yeah,
couple.
Occasionally.
I'm
How
not
is this
set
like
as any
making
character, but
plans for
I
the
will
future?
steal a character.
We've done a handful.
Oh.
I make Bakugo cry in my fanfic. Does that? Does that?
No,
Amazing.
that's
He
illegal.
deserves it. Anyway.
We don't really have a lot of time.
Okay, we're not gonna get
We-
into that here.
We have 1 minute left, so we should probably wrap up.
Oh god damn it!
We can talk more
It's been real.
off
kids.
stream, but we don't. We shouldn't
I
delay
think
it.
there's
I'm gonna watch
something
that
worth
video.
mentioning,
Uh,
which is that next year it is possible that we might do something similar if there is like enough interest, but obviously it wouldn't be like a full update. Maybe it would be we come together and we have a discussion similar to what we did with like the last half hour.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Or
I'm
we
down.
can just,
I'd be
or
here.
I'll just post more stuff that like will compel you guys to read it. 'Cause it's so good.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So, like, any reading, if you're doing a reading, I will be there. I will always
Yeah,
be
me
there
too.
for you.
Let me know. Let me know. I'm always down.
Well, thank you guys.
So this has been fun, guys.
I wanted to thank everyone who watched this for joining us this year. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you watch the next episode. Episode 5 is gonna release probably like right now. But also our friend Jojo or Funk McLovin has the next panel up, which I think is troll biology.
Oh, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I love JoJo's stuff, so I'm excited for that. So go check that out. It'd be cool. I hope you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for
Bye.
3 years of this amazing
We
panel.
love you.
Bye
I
bye.
hope you have a great day. The terrible Jake.